Hey ladies, to quote the Queen Beyonce, I don't like to gamble, but if there's one thing I'm willing to bet on, it's myself. On today's show, we're talking about what it means to bet on yourself, what this means, and the incredible things that happen once you do. Are you ready to bet on yourself and bet to win? Here we go. Oh hey, I'm Susan Hyatt, and this is Go Time TV. This is the show about creating what you crave right now. I'm a master certified life coach, author, entrepreneur, motivational speaker. I'm also a mom of 2 college-age kids, and I'm married. And I've learned a lot in these 47 years. And one thing I've learned is that we're done with certain things. We're done with apologizing. We're done with hiding. We're done with pretending that we're not good enough to go after our goals and our dreams. So join me for these short episodes where I bring you on a journey and teach you how to get more of what you want. More time, more energy, more money, more intimacy, whatever it is that you crave, we're gonna create it right here on Go Time TV. So what does it mean to bet on yourself? It means you take your goals seriously. It means failure is just not an option for you. And it means you invest the time, energy, attention, and money that's needed to make your dream happen. You invest in a PhD program. You invest in a coach. You claim space in the house that's your special work zone or study zone. And by investing, you're indicating to yourself, I am serious about this, and I believe I have what it takes to succeed. Betting on yourself also means you take steps before you feel completely ready. You take a gamble, you take a risk, you roll the dice and place your bet. You bet on yourself to win. So here's a quick story for you. I have a friend that runs a small business, and for a long time, she was a lone wolf and she did everything herself. She was the CEO, she was the marketing director, she was the bookkeeper, she was the customer service agent. She did everything all by herself. And maybe you can relate to that. But very gradually, she began to recognize if I'm gonna grow to the level that I wanna be, I need help and I need a team. And so little by little, she started hiring help. She would hire freelancers and part-time help here and there, but she was very reluctant to hire any full-time employees. She was scared, and she kept thinking, if I hire a full-time employee, that's a big responsibility. I'm responsible for their salary. And if I fail, and if I have to fire them because I can't afford to keep them on the payroll, I'm gonna feel intense shame. And she really wrestled with this dilemma for several months, and she looked at her financial info over and over. And she knew that she could afford to hire a full-time employee, but she still felt scared to take that leap and go for it. So she kept hesitating. And eventually, she came to a decision and she decided, I'm never gonna feel 100% ready to take this leap, so I have to leap before I feel completely ready. And she also decided, I trust myself. I've done hard things in the past and I can do this too. I'm betting on myself to succeed, and I won't let myself down or my employee down. I just won't. And then she did it. She hired her first full-time employee and then another part-timer, all in the same month. And it's been one of the best decisions she's ever made. And already it's transformed her life, her business in really magical ways. So as just one example, she set a goal of earning $100,000 in 55 days, and her grand total was actually $136K. She not only reached her goal, but she exceeded it. And having employees was a big reason why she was able to do it. So this story is about what happens when you bet on yourself. To be clear, betting on yourself doesn't necessarily mean hiring an employee. It could be something different, something small, something that doesn't require any money at all. Maybe it's something that requires a different kind of investment, like a time investment or a courage investment. So to quote Brian Koslow, forget the lottery, bet on yourself instead. That is how you win big. You don't need to win the Powerball to get rich or achieve massive success and joy and all the good things you want. You are the Powerball. Bet on yourself. It's time for the question of the day. This is the part of the show where I share a question for you, the beautiful person who's watching this right now. So here's my question for you. What's one way you could bet on yourself this week? So what are you gonna do? Post your answer down below so that I can cheer you on. Place your bets. I asked my lovely assistant Bianca to do an interview with me, and she's off screen, but she'll be asking the questions. And some of these questions were submitted by you, the viewers, and some of these we made up just for fun. So, all right, Bianca, what's the first question?
Susan, what is one way that you bet on yourself this year during 2020?
Oh, that's easy. So literally every day I'm betting on myself and making difficult decisions. But I would say a couple of the big ways I've bet on myself is starting Go Time TV. So I hired Brandon, who's behind the camera full time for my company, and equipment, and we went all in on scheduling 2 filming days a month, and it takes a big investment of not just money, but of time, freeing up my schedule enough that I could have 2 full filming days a month. And so I'm betting that you're watching and enjoying, and that will help not only you improve your life, but grow my community.
If somebody wants to bet on themselves, but they feel scared to do it, what's your advice for that person?
Okay, so if you want to bet on yourself and you're scared, number 1 is acknowledge that you're afraid instead of trying to deny your feelings. So it's okay to feel fear, but to not make decisions from fear or let fear run the show. So basically what I do and encourage my clients to do is not pretend like you're not afraid, but just to acknowledge, this is a really scary move, and I'm gonna pivot towards belief in myself. So don't deny your feelings, acknowledge them, but also don't let strong emotion that's taking you away from your goal dictate what your next moves are. Also, get a squad. You need support. So there's stuff that happens in your inner world, belief in yourself, but then you also need people around you who are gonna say, hey, what about that book? Hey, what about that TV show? Hey, what about going after those clients? So surround yourself with a squad that's gonna lift you higher. And if you don't have those people in your personal life, you need to join a mastermind, preferably one of mine.
So here's a question from Janet Keller. How to deal with smart-ass people and stand up for yourself without getting snarky back. Examples would be great.
Okay. How do you deal with smartasses without getting snarky back? So number 1, I would just want to give you permission to be snarky back. But if you don't want to be snarky back, one of the things that I love to teach people to say, and this could be particularly helpful coming up if you're going to be around members of your extended family for the holidays, is if someone says something to you that you don't appreciate, what will stop them in their tracks is saying, why would you say that to me? Can you explain? And often they're not expecting something to be tossed back on them. And 9 times out of 10, it will cause them to retreat and fumble and stop whatever nonsense they're up to. So that's my number 1 go-to is why would you say that? And then the next one that I say, and my children can attest to this, is I'm not going to have a conversation like that, and I walk away. Do not give oxygen to things that you don't like or appreciate. So the best conversational boundary you can have is not to give that fire any oxygen whatsoever. Now, I made a joke at the top of this, I'm giving you permission to be snarky because I think sometimes women in particular put an added burden on themselves that they should somehow always be the peacemaker or the bigger person or whatever. And I don't really subscribe to that. But what I do want to encourage you to do is whatever helps you feel empowered. And what typically helps me feel empowered is to turn my attention towards people and conversations where I'm not having to give myself cliff notes to participate with them. So think about that as you're going into this holiday season. You have the right to only allow access to your energy to people who've earned it. It's time for some shout outs. So right now, I want to highlight a woman who has been setting exciting goals, getting out there and getting it done. So a woman who's taking action now instead of postponing things till later. People who really exemplify the go time spirit, women who are betting on themselves. And today I want to give a shout out to a member of my mastermind named Cindy Garza. So Cindy is such an amazing high-level professional. She purchased 2 additional businesses this year. One of them is called Mortgage Girlfriends. So Cindy has spent a huge part of her career leading a mortgage team, and she started a community that includes a mastermind for women who are in real estate and mortgages. And I'm just so proud of her for doing it in the midst of the pandemic, in the midst of everything that's happened in 2020. She really bet on herself and invested in growing her reach and growing her businesses. So congratulations, Cindy. So for all of you watching, keep going, keep betting on yourself, keep taking action to create the life that you crave, because it's go time all the time. This has been Go Time TV. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're feeling inspired to bet on yourself, because if you want to win big in life and in business, you gotta bet on yourself, and you can't wait for other people to bet on you. You have to bet on yourself. And hey, if this show has brought just a little bit of positivity into your day, click on the thumbs up below. Please do it. Thank you so much. Make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss an episode. I'm Susan Hyatt saying bye until next time. And remember, you only get one life. Make it big, make it bold, and make it count. It's go time.